All right, this is gonna be part three, and I kind of just want to just focus on the sports festival in this arc. So, I mean, we all know how the sports festival goes. It's kind of like a bigger arc in early My Hero Academia. We had the obstacle race, cavalry battle. We got a bunch of fights. I'm gonna cover probably most of them. All right, jumping into it. When they get back to school, they're told by Azal, "Hey, yeah, sports festival's coming up. Y'all should participate in it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It'd be pretty cool. Makes the heroes look at you, can get your interns. Yeah. So they're gonna do the freaking sports festival. Everybody's excited. Oh, Chaco's like, oh my god, everybody, do your best! And they're like, ah, low key. I'd be hyped. I'd be hyped. I kind of wish we had stuff like that in our, where we could just fight people for the fun of it, without it being illegal. You know what I mean? But we're Let's get started with the obstacle race. Now, the obstacle race is going to be. I can see Todoroki doing what he does in canon, where he just freezes the ground, Bakio jumping up. But Deku's going to do his infamous, and he's going to go wham to the ground and go sent flying. And while he's flying, he's going to yoink some of Bakio's like explosive flames and stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's just going to literally 1-to-1 copy Bakio, and that's going to piss him off. Bakio's like flying like doo 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 with the explosions, and Deku just feels some of those like explosive flames, and he's just like flying, like let's just say he's flying with his feet fired to be like like Shinra, because he can put the flames anywhere. So he's using the telekinesis to make him fly in general, and he can go pretty fast, kind of like Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. She can fly, and it's pretty fast. But he has it on his feet, so he looks like Shinra. But he's completely mocking Bakio, and Bakio's getting pissed off. But all three of them, well, Bakio and him are just going to be racing. Now, because Bakio is pissed off, he's going to be going faster. So they're going to be like kind of like neck and neck. And then Deku crosses the finish line first. Because, that's my boy. That's my boy right there. And so they're going to be like, okay, well, Deku, for the cavalry battle, since you won first place, let me get you this, a million, thousand, quadrillion, big number headband. Because he's a big ballin' Deku. And I hate the cavalry battle. I really do. I don't remember the cavalry battle too much. I know they all get up on top of each other. It was what? Mei Hatsume. No. Who was it? It was Mei, Ochako, Ida, and Deku? Either way, what I see is whoever they're with. I like the Ochako. Ochako's gonna like make them all really light. And so with them being light, Deku can just pick them up and throw them around way easier. And so they're kind of going to be like floating around. And then Deku's going to be like, so Ochaka's like the helium to the balloon, and then Deku's like the person that can move the balloon around. So they're super light, they're flying around, and then I want Dark Shadow to just be yoinking everybody's headband. So he's just gonna yoink everybody's headband. He's gonna keep his big ball and headband because that's my boy Deku. And then everybody that wins passes in canon, still there. Now Izuku versus Hitoshi Shinzo. Now, I can see Deku's really friendly with everybody. So the tail guy, I guess, for plot armor, tail guy's gonna continue to come up to Deku and be like, "Hey, I was on Hitoshi's team. Don't answer what he says." And so Deku's gonna be like, "Well, there's probably a reason why he told me don't respond. I'm not gonna respond." Instead, he just he doesn't want to take any chances, so he just pushes Shinzo around. He just, "Thou shall not pass," and just wee wee. Hitoshi Senju just wee out of bounds. Blah. Guess who won? Yeah. Todoroki's gonna win against Sarah. She's gonna freeze him. Denki's gonna lose to the Vine Girl. Ida versus May. I think May just kind of was like, my babies, my babies. So I guess Ida won. And then Ida got the news about his brother. It was like, huh, I'm gonna drop out. Yuga beats. No, Mina beat Yuga. Oh, frick. Dark Shadow beats Momo. I had I had the whole timeline pulled up right here, just so I don't miss anything. Uh, Tetsu versus Adro Kirishima. Tie versus usual. Katsuki Bakugo versus Ochako. Nothing's gonna change. I really like. Honestly, in this instance, Bakugo is stronger than he was because I don't know. Deku's kind of pushed him to be stronger. So she just gets killed. Not killed. Killed is crazy. No, she gets her ass handed to her pretty easy. Okay, now this is the one I'm waiting for. Right? Izuku Midori versus Shota Todoroki. It's gonna go kind of the same as usual. Frickin' Todoroki's just gonna be blasting a whole crap ton of ice, and what I'm trying to say, Deku is pretty much the same as he is in canon, without the your All Might Zero Love Child. But Todoroki kind of like I don't know. Endeavor still talking to Deku and is like, make Shoto use his fire side. And I'm like, I don't know. Deku's still talking to Jutsu's him into like using the fire. So once we get into the fire, because the whole time the ice is happening, Deku's just blowing it away with telekinesis, kind of like the wind pressure with the fingers. On the downside, he's not breaking every single finger in his body. So when the fire breaks out, they're pretty evenly matched, except for the fact that it's motherfucking fire. So Deku's gonna be like, I like that fire, and just manipulate the crap out of it. And Todoroki, because I don't think Todoroki understands about the fire tornado thing. I think you could probably look at it and be like, oh, I don't even think Todoroki was there during that moment when he saw it at the USJ. So Todoroki doesn't know anything about the fire, and Deku, like I said, as soon as he woke up from the week he was out, he was training his fire, so he's a little bit better at it. He uses the craziest amount of fire to like Todoroki. He just doesn't stand a chance. But Todoroki can't be burned by the fire because of the ice. So I feel like it's a battle of nutrition. If I see it being a battle of nutrition, I feel like Todoroki is gonna overheat before before Deku like wears himself out. So that's what I'm gonna have happen. I know it's like I'm kind of jumping over it, but just picture that all the fire attacks that are being sent at Todoroki are just being multiplied and manipulated with like telekinesis, pyrokinesis right back at frickin' Todoroki. Melting, like all the ice is instantly just melted around the stage because that's how hot Deku's amplifying the fires to be. Because he can't produce his own fires, but he can manipulate the crap out of the fire. Does that make sense? It's kind of like Fire Force. Second generation, they can manipulate the fire, they can't produce it. So Deku's gonna beat Todoroki. Let's get through the list. Tenya beats Vine Girl. Fumikage. Tokiyami beats Mina. Now, Bakio still beats Kirishima. And it's gonna be it's the next one should have been Deku versus Ida, but Ida in this timeline kind of was like, because he got the phone call about his brother and he just left to sulk. So Deku moves on. Bakio versus Dark Shadow. Bakio is more fired up this round. And now we're getting into Bakugo versus Deku. Now Bakugo versus Deku is going to be interesting for a multitude of reasons. One, it's a rematch because Deku kind of handed a defeat on Silver Platter to Bakugo during the US Training Ground Gamma, whatever that was. And Bakugo's pissed off because this is 2 times he's lost to Deku, humiliatedly. Like, he just got slammed into walls. Well, lucky for him, there's no walls around here. So he thinks he's safe. But Bakugo's going to start off the battle with a freaking bang. He's literally going to mad dash with a giant explosion right at Deku. And Deku, he's not the quickest perception. So he's going to get hit. He's going to go flying. And he's going to be like on the edge of the freaking ground. Like, literally an inch off. And he's going to be using telekinesis to like keep himself in bay. And Deku's like thinking to himself, what the hell? How did Bakugo get so strong so quick? That's because of rivalry. Baku is pissed off. You'll see what I'm saying. So Deku's gonna he locks in. He's like, if Bakugo's gonna be like this crazy right off the bat, I gotta lock him. So Deku literally just starts using his telekinesis in a crazy way to like amplify all of his muscles. And Bakugo right now is a close range fighter. He doesn't really have too much of the he doesn't have houts or impact yet. So they're like throwing hands on the ground. Like Bakugo is like picture like Natsu using the flames to like make his fist go quicker. That's Bakugo. He's gonna use his hands to punch into Deku and then explode it again. So it's gonna be like Yuji Itadori's like reverberating fist or whatever, which hits and it hits again. Divergent fist. That's what it is. So I'm just seeing them like literally just duke it out. And now Deku is kind of immune to the fire aspect. Like he's not gonna get burned from it, but the punches are just hitting way harder. Let me take a drink real quick. Let me just. There's no sweet tea, dude. Fire. But they're gonna just be throwing hands. Deku's using telekinesis to like strengthen all of his muscles. Bakugo's using his explosions to make each hit harder. And honestly, following that, like I can see Bakugo pulling the upper hand because Bakugo he's a really strategic thinker, and Deku he's not used to using his fire as much as I want him to be, and because all the fighting is happening in the course of a day, Deku's still worn out from Todoroki's fight. So I'm gonna say Bakugo wins this fight, and it quells some of his ego, but it also helps him to see Deku as more of an equal instead of, damn, Deku's ahead of me. So I think this could lead to like friendship blossoming, but also in this timeline, Bakugo feels like he actually won the sports festival the hard way, so he's not all chained up. But it's gonna be Bakugo number one, Deku number two, and Todoroki number three. And honestly, I'm happy with that. Like, I don't know what more there is to it. I kind of just flew through the that arc, and I got like enough time. All right, we're actually gonna go into the hero killer arc, I guess. Let's see. They're all gonna go back to class, and then they're going to get the books and who they internship with. And Deku's not going with Gran Torino, so yeah, I don't think he's gonna be in Hosu City. Uh, what would be a good What would be a good MHA hero with telekinesis? Let's see if there's any heroes with telekinesis. I, you know what? There's Deku. He's gonna go with best genus. Him and Bakuya are both gonna go with best genus because Deku's still a fanatic, and I don't know. I kind of see him and Bakuya becoming closer friends, and I'd like that in my story. So they're both gonna go with best genus. Bakuya's gonna be a little bit more behaved. I, I don't. I see Bakuya like mellowing out. Like he gets his ass handed to him, but like he also like he's losing that superiority complex. So they're gonna go to best genus, but neither of them are gonna be in Hostess City, which sadly means that Ida's gonna be dying. Like, oof. We've already marked two image the canon characters out. We have Nomineta and Ida. Ida is 6 feet under. It realistically, without Deku being there, I don't see I don't see anybody being able to save Ida, and Ida definitely is still walking down that path of like I'm mad somebody just murked my brother. So like I understand, dude. I'd do that for my family any day of the week, but it's literally the hero killer who heroes haven't been able to. Like this guy is literally a killer. He murders people. Wow. Are you dumb? All you do is run, and you couldn't even run away from this problem. You suck, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of anticlimactic. Nothing really was able to happen in the Hosu City incident. Endeavor still arrives, kills the Nomu. They don't capture Stain because Stain's not going to be knocked out. Yeah. Well, yep. I guess that covers up the sports festival and the hero killer arc. I I'm happy with how the sports festival turned out. Hero killer arc was pretty anticlimactic, but not much you can do. Either just dies. But yeah, that is how I see that going on. And if you want a little more context, whatever things Bakio did and the best units like thing, Deku's just doing the same thing. It was just basic hero work. Just going around. Deku got a stylish haircut as best as he could. It's hard to keep that afro like styled. But yeah, that's part 3. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.